Welcome to Central Happenings Network. I'm your host, Bellagio Sampler. Welcome to the show. We are shuffling schedules around for Christmas, for your little liberal holidays. But for Christmas, we are shuffling around the schedules. So welcome. We're going to be having a little call-in show, talking about topics you want to discuss. And I have some news in the meanwhile. Since we started early, we pushed the schedule, we're back, we're forward, yada, yada, yada. Let us put on comfy mix. I hope you guys are okay. I hope you guys are comfortable. Are you guys having a good Christmas? Are you having a wonderful season? Are you getting what you wished? What up, Gan Dodger over on Twitch? Hello, people on D Live. Moving into 2021, we are going to see that there will be no algorithm success for anybody on YouTube. Even Styx Hexenhammer, the canary in the coal mine, even he has stated he's experiencing significant loss on YouTube. They're not telling people when people go live, when videos come out. Well, what can you do? YouTube is a broken structure. $600 Renos. We're gonna talk about that. Let's pull up the let's zoom in and pull up. Zoom in, pull up. Where's the window? Oh, I think we should fix the window. There we go. Boom. Joe V wishes for jail time for the corrupt politicians. What do people think about this? We're going to talk about this today. I think I have to zoom out so you guys could. There you go. $600. Like, amazing, right? Not $1,200. I mean, you have to feel for the people out there that actually need it, that are losing jobs, you know? What will I do with my 600? I am going to probably pay bills with it. I have everything I need and want. Next year, I will probably buy a new CPU upgrade for my current motherboard, or I'll think about 2 years from now just upgrading the whole motherboard. But that's it. That's really everything else. God is good. But $600. Like, honestly. Yeah, Lunar Lotus. Great point right there. Here's your $600. Sorry that you lost your job. Sorry that it's all fucked. But hey, here's $600. We'll be okay. I know exactly what I'm gonna do with $600. And you're not gonna hear anything like this anywhere. Ready? Where are the federal agents? Sit down, get your pens and papers out. Are you ready for the manifesto? I am taking $90 of that $600 and I am paying off a GD. I don't want to say God, you know what, the D word after, but a GD blemish on my credit from 10 years ago. Bank of America claims that I owe them $90 for the past 10 years. And I've been disputing it. I've been telling them, are you freaking kidding me? But finally, my advisor tells me, if you just pay these criminals, either wait till next year, October, it'll dissolve somehow. Not after this whole 7-year thing's bullshit. Or pay it off and get like a 50-point boost to your credit score. So I don't know. That's what I'm doing. That's boomer posting right there. The boomer waffin posting. Punish McLean might spend it on crypto. I might actually invest a little bit in the actual stock market. Play the stock market like crypto. Buy low, sell high. I don't know. I really don't know. I've done everything else with this computer. Modded everything. Played every console on it. Emulated everything. But why can't I learn crypto? I just have to put some time into it. That's all. Put some time into it. And I will learn crypto and get all the stationary wallets. We're going to open up the phone lines though. Call in. Tell me what you think. We'll get some topics going. Bush gave $400 after 9/11. Shinona has a good point. It's very true about the crumbs. There are people out there that are like dying, and not from COVID, but from the shutdowns. KZY says, screw stock markets. If you bought $1,200 worth of crypto the first time, it's worth about $3,000. What do you mean the first time? Like back when it was... Well, tell me, Red Pill me, do you buy it now as it's going up? I don't know. Wait till it goes back down. I feel like that Bitcoin train is over, but there's other coins. Ethereum, I hear, is always amazing. I have crypto links down below if any of you based anons would love to donate to the production quality of this channel. We have a new Patreon. I need to thank you out there. His name is Anon. Alexander the Great Anon, we're going to call you. And thank you very much for the $3 a month Patreon. You are incredible. Woo, a CHN shilter. I love it. Piss the mods off. I love it. Let's get the Dogecoin or bust. We have people on Twitch saying the Twitch community is pro Dogecoin. Okay, we're going to have to juggle around here. So callers. We're going to put the phone line up right now. Well, I have a couple more things we want to talk about, don't we? Talk a little bit. What does this mean on January 6th? January 6th is an electoral date. People are going to go to Washington to show support. But that's the big day that people are waiting for. Keep the memory alive. The keys are inside the blockchain. 1.38 gigabyte insurance AES-256 was never opened up. Very interesting stuff. We all remember. I'm going to link this in all 3 channels for people watching and are curious. But you'll have to look in the live chat after it's uploaded. Also, today we are using YouTube's DVR feature. Bellagio usually is live. Like a radio show, you cannot rewind it. But today you can rewind it because I went live, you know, with holidays and Christmas and Kwanzaa and Hanukkah. Hanukkah. We need to adjust for everybody. So we have DVR quality. Proof COVID was a planned hoax. This is incredible. My wife actually showed me this and told me to tell you guys. I think I might have mentioned it, but I didn't really give it enough credence. But I'm happy other anons out there took note of this. We're gonna mute the music now. Get ready for the calls. Let's play this.
had not
very low.
COVID's detailed this 3D.
So this is from April 4th, 2019, Project Runway. And there's other shows that people were wearing masks. In 2019, they were kind of like...
I had not noticed COVID's detailed this 3D applique. I mean, it just gets better. What do you guys think of this mask?
His name is COVID with a K. Very interesting stuff. Also, the Real Housewives back in 2019 during an art shoot or something. One of their daughters, I think maybe I don't want to misquote, but one of the housewives' daughters of New York was in New York City, and in 2019 they were all wearing masks at this event. Uh-oh. Music. Let's see what you guys are saying. Invest in quail, and these quail eggs are incredibly based. I eat quail eggs raw. Raw quail eggs are really good. Real men eat the quail egg raw. Cross the Rubicon Dawn. This is a send your energy thread. Kemp was at the White House. What's going on here? Sneaking in. Little spy action from Kent. Mr. Kemp. I call him Kent. Mr. Kemp. We're all glad China is back to normal, guys. China is a... I don't even want to click this link. I wish someone would make a WebM of it. But they're having like mega concerts, mega events in China. Everything's back to normal. They tricked everyone. We're going to talk about that. I've been seeing a huge uptick of anti-Christian threads on 4chan. You know, and they always talk about like any way, which way they could do it, but this is one of them, just showing an example. And the Pfizer vaccine is trash. Chicago Suburban Hospital suspends the vaccine. Very interesting stuff, right? So we're going to open up the phone lines. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys call in. Where is my slideshow? Oh, it's back there. Okay, we'll shut the window and keep the slideshow open. The Hillary Clinton slideshow. Okay, where's the phone lines? The phone is on, but the number is not up. There's your number. I gotta turn the music off. Gotta turn the volume up. I have to sneeze eventually. Forewarning everyone. And we're lucky, the number still works from Saint Snooch, who helped the channel get a second phone line and set up this digital phone that we use. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Bellagio, what's on the go, man?
How are you?
Very good, very good. I gotta keep this one brief. I got kids that are gonna be crying and hungry here in a second, but I just wanted to. This is the KZY. I just wanted to red pill you on crypto. You gotta get in on it. It's something that everybody has to allocate some funds to. At this point in time, it's not. There's no more speculation. It's here. It's gonna stay, and it's too big to fail. We got a lot of institutional investors that have been pouring in billions and billions and billions of dollars, and the infrastructure it's not in its infancy anymore. It's here to stay, and you would definitely be wise to allocate. I would say, if you're a young man like myself, I'm 30. I've got a significant chunk of my nest egg in crypto now, and I would advise anybody who's under the age of 35, you should probably be at least 10% in crypto right now. It's definitely your best.
Can I use Coinbase?
Yeah, but that's like normie based. I can. I'm in up in Leafistan, so I've got a couple exchanges that I like to use that are really easy for me. A lot of like I said, the infrastructure is there. depending on where you're at, it's maybe more difficult or easier to on ramp your funds. Like myself, I've got a Litecoin miner that's chugging away 24/7. I've got a 6-card Ethereum rig chugging away, so that's onboarding me hundreds of dollars a month in converting power into crypto essentially. And then I use a Canadian exchange that allows me to e-transfer because a lot of credit card issuers and stuff like that won't let you do it. So
Do you
if you
keep
can,
do you keep you like do you have like physical wallets or you use exchanges?
I use I use a Ledger
I need
hardware
to learn
wallet.
all this. I gotta learn all
Yeah,
this.
hardware wallets are your best bet. You never want to keep any significant sums on the exchanges. When I usually, I whack a couple hundred here, a couple hundred there, every couple paychecks, and then as soon as I hit, I don't know, maybe like $2,000 worth, something like that, I pull it off the exchange and zap it to my hardware wallet, so then it's not hot anymore. So
Huh. Very interesting. There's
definitely,
so much on you. I will learn it. Now's the time.
you yeah, you definitely do. The saying is the best time to buy Bitcoin was yesterday. The second best time is today. So there's no time like the present. And in this inflationary nightmare we have in North America and the world, it's your best bet against that. Because gold and silver, they're shiny boomer rocks. Really, like nobody wants to store ounces and ounces or even pounds or kilos of this crap. Like, where are you going to physically put it all? And you can always make the argument, if the world goes to hell, like, who's going to trade imaginary internet money? But if it's at that point, we got a lot more stuff to worry about. So in the meantime, there's a lot of gains to be made in crypto, and I'd like to see a couple truthers get in on it. And
I love it.
enjoy
So
the
even
fun.
if I put $500 on Bitcoin, it's smart. You recommend Ethereum or just stick with Bitcoin right now?
Personally, there's a lot of people that are hardcore on Bitcoin. The Bitcoin maximalists. They'll say it's the one true king essentially, and there's no others. But I would say, like myself, I've got about probably 40% of my portfolio in Bitcoin, about 45% in Ethereum, and then 5% in other shitcoins. Pardon my language, altcoins that I think have a little bit of a chance of some really nice gains. I think in the short term, Ethereum has a more gain potential than Bitcoin, but I plan on eventually converting all of my other non-Bitcoin coins into Bitcoin once they outperform Bitcoin in the short term. That's kind of my strategy.
Very interesting. And what about if you have enough time? What about mining? Like you talked about, you have 2 little rigs going. How
Yeah,
much does it cost you in electricity, and how much are you making, if you don't mind?
no, I don't mind at all. I finally just got one of the 3000 series GTX cards, the 3060 Ti, that finished my rig off. I was lucky to get one at my local Best Buy. So I've got like 2 5700 XTs, which are AMD cards, 3 5600 XTs, and one the 3060 Ti. So right now it's going to sound like mumbo jumbo to you, but
No, I
that's
know
pulling
exactly.
it's going to be like just shy of 300 mega hashes per second. So that's making me right now about, like, I don't know, 0.55 or 0.56 Ethereum per month. So like per day, that's like maybe 1350 US. And if I'm in a nice situation where I'm not paying for power, but if I was, I'd be profiting after power costs about 1050 US dollars a day from that rig. It's very profitable right now. It's nice. But
Okay.
that being said, I was lucky to get into it a couple months ago when card prices were cheap. Like, I was getting 5600s for 400 lease bucks taxed in. I got a couple of them
Yeah,
there.
now
And
it's all sold out.
yeah, they're very hard to get. If you can get some used cards, though, there's still some money to be made.
What
Especially, and if you can, these 3060 Ti's are beautiful cards.
that's what I was going to ask. The 3060 is good for mining?
It's excellent. Yeah, it seems to be at the moment for Ethereum the most efficient card out there. Now don't quote me on that, but from what I've
Yeah.
seen, and I'm pretty well versed, it's a really nice card.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you can rack
Amazing.
them up. So, like, I've been doing the Litecoin thing for a couple of years, and I have an ASIC rig. I don't know if you can hear it in the background here. It's always whirring away. I'm kind of close to it, but ASIC rigs are not practical. they're really annoying. They sound like a crazy hair dryer, basically. Um, they're if unless you have the facility for an ASIC miner, which is mostly used by, I would say, well, I shouldn't even say that. ASIC miners are really efficient, but that's all they do is mine a certain algorithm.
Yeah.
The Ethereum rig is nice because it's quiet. It doesn't produce a crazy amount of heat like the ASICs
And are
do.
you're using like a program, or like basically when you're creating this Ethereum, how do you get that
Yeah.
into one of your exchanges? Is like, how do you get it from
Okay.
your
Yeah.
computer? That's you know.
Okay. So I run a program called. I was using Phoenix Miner, but I switched over to Claymore. It's just basically the same thing, but that's the program that you run. So I have my mining rig. I have a mining specific motherboard, which can support up to 19 cards. It's B250. I only have 6 in there now. I've got a 1200 watt power source, platinum, and I run Windows 10 on there. Then I just run this program, and it goes 24/7. The cards just keep mining away. And every week, I mine with a pool. So my mining efforts are everyone shares the risk. Everyone
Yeah,
shares the
collective, right?
thing. Yeah, exactly. So then I get paid out weekly, and it just goes directly to my hardware wallet. It doesn't even touch the exchange.
Wow,
It goes straight.
that's
Yeah, it's
incredible.
beautiful.
Honestly, it's amazing to learn new things. And thank you for telling me the process
Yeah,
from
no sweat.
someone that's doing it. You know.
Yeah, yeah. If yeah, so I got to go. Baby's hungry here. But final word is it's never too late to buy, and just dollar cost average every week. Set a nice amount, maybe $100 a week if you can afford it to get started. Buy the dip and do. If I were to recommend something to somebody, I'd say 50% Bitcoin, 50% Ethereum, because you'll get the short-term upside with Ethereum, and you get the long-term security with Bitcoin.
I love it. Thank you very much for the info, brother.
No sweat, man. Take care. Love
Great
the show.
call. Thank you. That's awesome information right there. And honestly, whether it's the stock market, whether it's Bitcoin, it is just like a game, you know? Buy low, sell high. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, hello. I was listening to your first caller talking about Bitcoin,
Yes.
and I wanted to give like my perspective from someone who has like the complete opposite viewpoint of cryptocurrency being a good thing. If you don't want to hear it, it's fine. I was just gonna share my point of view.
I think it's great. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I've said this before. I feel like there is a push for certain technologies to advance, and one thing, and like tribes, and because I feel like tribalism is a form of self-sustainability, and the systems and the technologies that they like, that the system or the powers that be that want to be like to push onto people is one that is easily controllable, and they're saying that because Bitcoin is operating on a, what is that called, a chain block, uh,
Blockchain.
yeah, blockchain decentralized system, that we are more dependent. But in reality, this whole system of trading is dependent on the system itself, that is literally very self-destructive, not only to the people involved in it, but for the environment. And that's what I'm trying to get to, the fact that the people who want, there is an agenda to separate us from what is natural and push us, surround us with this idea of what is normal. So they're trying to normalize, this technology, and in reality, the guy said
Very
it.
good.
If
Very good point. Very good point.
Yeah, if the history repeats, and as far as I'm aware of, I don't know historically of there ever being an empire that there is today, which is like the whole world is colonized, and we are all, if you want to believe it or not, there are powers that be that are manipulating things behind the scenes, and it's for their own benefit, you know. And I can see how this whole cryptocurrency and blockchain stuff is like a direct, what is it called, result of the system that, it's like a slavery thing. They're like, okay, we're going to get rid of slavery, but we're going to make these laws that are biased against people. So if you do anything, basically, we're just going to enslave you. If you are breaking the rules we say is wrong. And I think I've thought about blockchain before it was even a thing. Like before I even heard about it, I was like, we should have some kind of system where people do things and they can get credit for what they've done, but blockchain is operating more on more of a pay to play type of ideology. Like if you're not paying for this technology, this hardware, then you're not even going to be able to be involved in the.
Well, I see what you're saying. So like for the mining aspect, that's almost like certain price category involved with an investment to be able to make money back. You need to be able to buy in. The pay to play is what you call it. It makes sense. I always talk about the blockchain as aiding the artificial intelligence. So I understand where you're coming from. I understand what you're talking about. So,
yeah, and it's literally like you're trying to say it's shifting the power of control, but literally the people who have the money, if all it takes is money to make it big or have a big influence on this blockchain, literally the people in the jungles aren't going to be able to affect everyone who is not willingly going along with this technological advancement and ideologies. We're not going to have any part to play in the change that's happening, and they're trying to act like this is getting rid of the power from the banks. It's like the banks are setting all this up. Yeah, like they're going to have a digital chip, they put into people. They've talked about this a long time ago, and whenever anybody tries to talk about it, it's like, oh, you're crazy. Show me some evidence, show me some proof. And then now that there's evidence and proof, they're just like, oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist because.
Well, a lot of anons out there and common people have gotten rich off Bitcoin, and this is almost like a new .com boom or a new like gold rush, digital gold rush, people call it. But there are consequences to any gold rush or any expansion into a new realm, and it is good to kind of pace yourself a little bit. But I do feel if anons out there can use it to their advantage and get ahead right now in this economy, it could be helpful.
Yeah, I always advocate. I always advocate for, like, if you want to invest in any kind of technology, try to make it a self-sustainable technology where you don't have to depend on the government, or not the government. You don't have to depend on these big systems of, the internet in order for you to, like water. We can literally draw water from the air using what is that method called? There's a certain method that happens when something gets cold. It gathers water.
Condensation, dehumidification.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's amazing technology out there, and there is amazing tech. I forgot what I was going to say. What were you saying? Because you were building up something in my head when you that we
in
can't,
regards to the technology,
we can't put too much hope into these technologies, because like blockchain, for example, a lot of people don't know what's going on underneath the hood.
Exactly.
Like, there's people out there that wrote that technology. Someone obviously controls it or can control it. So a lot of people out there, like, we don't even know how electricity moves from point A to point B. We just know theories of it, how it flows. Some people think it flows like water. But my whole point is this: too many people just rely on their toaster oven to turn on and work, and make them toast.
Yeah, and they don't know how. That's one last thing I was gonna say is
But I'm not saying I'm for or against Bitcoin right now. I'm definitely anti-artificial intelligence. But right now in this world, for people to prep and save their families and get some more food, if they could use Bitcoin to get a little financial gain, I'm all for it. Put it that way.
Yeah, hey, I'm not against lotto tickets. If you want to scratch off a lotto and you get $1 million, I don't have no problem with that. I feel like it's similar. Yeah, I
Yeah.
try to invest in it a little bit, cryptocurrency, but the more I got into it, the more I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to be putting a lot of time and effort into something that I don't even want to be involved in, this whole technological warfare that's going on. Money literally is what's separating us from each other. Like, money gives us a false sense of security, and it does give us the ability to do things without needing to ask help from others. And that's what's kind of separating. That's what's breaking down true communities. Is there are ulterior motives to be had, and families too. Like families, I feel like money is a way to break up the actual community, because if you have enough money, you can come in the community and just throw money at people, and they're going to do whatever you want. Most people, in this society, we need money to do things, and that's how they want it set up, where one person could come in, throw money at different people, and then the whole community is broken apart. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. I appreciate you calling me, and I wanted to share a different perspective, because I'm hearing a lot of people in my circles pushing Bitcoin. And hey, I told them myself, if you want to do it, go for it. If you have the money to spare, and you don't want to smoke it all, you rather invest it in, trying to get some profit back, I'm all for it. But here are the concerns that I think of when I was trying to get into it. It's a whole control system.
Very good call. Thank you for the info, brother.
Okay, appreciate you.
You have a good rest of your day. That was an awesome call. I like that there was the pro-Bitcoin call and then the anti-Bitcoin. It was perfect. Perfect. On especially an unscripted, just happened that way. That was good. I appreciate both calls. Very awesome. Yeah, we do have to be careful of these technologies that we really like. What I'm saying is I wouldn't invest all your life savings. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
I appreciate it. Hey, so I just wanted to call in. You'd had some perspective on Bitcoin and alternative investment strategies. The number one thing that a audience should know is that investment advice should be taken lightly. But when you look at Bitcoin and you look at some other assets, right now there's a lot of money to be gained on the table. So I think there's some valid points raised on the previous one. But when you start to look at this generational shift, are you familiar with the concept of the Strauss-Howe generational shift?
Probably. Give us a breakdown of it for our callers, for everyone.
The basic gestalt of the Strauss-Howe generational theory is that you have these archetypical generations. They go in series of 4, much in the same way you have the 4 seasons. There's
I've heard this.
I think you've heard of this one. It's
like
the spring,
weak men, or is that the kind of the concept? Weak men make hard times.
It's a boorish. Yes, that's more of a crass dilution of it, but yes,
Yeah.
that is essentially encapsulated. The reason that I bring this up is right now is a prudent time to take your finances and shift them. You're going from the precipice of what is a winter generational theory, and you're lapsing into what is the spring generational theory. And every time there's a Turing shift, there's a massive reorganization of wealth, and it's largely agnostic. Now, with that being said, there are individuals of whom know where the play is going. So that's how these individuals will stay in power over a preconceived period of time. These are outlined, but that does not mean their tools are inherently evil. I'm currently advising people to invest heavily in cybersecurity stocks, as well as a mixture of Bitcoin assets and other tangibles that will work within the next generational theory. So, it's not as black and white as people want to make it right now, but there is a lot of money to be made on the table. And, the previous caller is a valid point insofar as money making people do things. So think about this. If I gave you $5 million, what would you do tomorrow?
I want to invest some of it, definitely, for sure.
Could you make a fundamental impact in your community?
Within my immediate circle of community, yes, but not like within my township. Like $5 million in terms of a city is not much, but I can maybe build a park or.
Yeah, you can do something small, and that's where 99.99% of the gains are going to be 5 million and under. Now, the substantial gains, there are break limits in order for you from a tax standpoint that'll really prohibit you from hitting those. Now, you can make fundamental changes. Now, a good example is if you move to a place like a Texas. There's smaller towns, and a lot of them still have some Texas German. Now, let's say I went to a place like, for example, Friedrichsburg. I took $5 to $10 million. I built a ranch, and now I import 100 Italians. You know, you can do that. They could be relatives and whatnot. Now, you're fundamentally altering a society at that level. Those are the gains that you're not going to be able to achieve at this level. So I think it's kind of a frivolous conversation where individuals will talk about, well, this is where you should put your money, or that's where you put your money. You should make money in order to advance your family interests, but you're just not going to be able to get to a level where you're making a substantial impact. So I don't know. I just thought I'd pipe in on that. I do think people need to be
because of taxes, you're saying tax brackets, and once you make
tax brackets are. I'm not sure if are you familiar with the tax brackets in the United States?
Yeah, a little bit, yes.
So there are so many tax bracket problems within the United States that there's an old saying that the rich get rich because they pay people to do their work for them, and that is very true. Now, I don't want to dox myself, but I can attest to this firsthand. There are stock options, derivatives, Class A, Class B stocks. There's ways you can hide it. There's ways you can sell it. Do you know that if you go take a flight right now and you go try to sell your assets in a foreign place, places like Switzerland, maybe other Dutch-speaking regions, and then you also funnel it into agriculture, you can get something next to a 0% tax rate. Now, let us say I had 50,000 shares in a startup that I had started at. 50,000 shares now trading at $150. I didn't tax that. These are things that you won't be able to obtain now. I guess what I'm getting at is there's a lot of money to be made in this generational shift. You just got to play it safe. You have to play it safe, but I don't think there's a point in worrying about, you know, if your money is going to fundamentally change a society on that. There's just, you know,
when somebody
have you
told
ever heard
me,
of a supplement?
Go ahead.
No, you can go. That's fine.
Oh, I was just gonna say, somebody told me once that, like, in terms of the government changing the rules and all the little nuances and loopholes, like when the government changes the rules of the game, people that invest need to change the way to play the game, essentially.
Exactly.
Speaking.
Yeah. Well, and cybersecurity right now, you should look into. There's some things in there that you should check in. And, you know, like I said,
Are there any companies you want to, any companies you?
No.
Not right now. Yeah.
That's not going. No.
Not good advice.
Yeah. So it's anything that you could identify. It's very easy things to find public players of whom will be doing well. You can go in and look at SEC filings. You can go in and look at potential cybersecurity breaches. I could talk in depth about how those breaches have occurred. That's something that is public info. But there's, yeah, and you're right about the taxes. You know, again, why would I be able to take 30,000 assets, 30,000 share Class A assets, fly to Austria, liquidate, and then move it in an agricultural exempt product where I'm now paying a 2% tax rate on short? It's all these things that are embedded in there. You should look into things like supplemental property tax. You can never actually emancipate yourself from the game for the notion of a supplemental property tax. And are you familiar with that?
No, tell us about that. Give me the red.
I'll just give you the basic.
Basically, yeah, give us the basic.
The basic gestalt of a supplemental property tax is every year the county is going to reassess you on your assumed value, which will always be somewhere around general inflation 2.5 to 3.5. So let's say you wanted to create a sustainable retirement effort. You're going to get an increase on your taxes on top of your nominal. They're going to slap on another 2 to 3%, incurring year over year for supplemental taxes. So you're never really able to truly emancipate yourself from the game. Yeah. You're always going to be asked for a little bit more, always more. You can't check out. You're not going to be able to say, I paid off the ranch. I now owe 1.5% taxes for Giuseppe County, and I got to pay that it's just going to increase 3% every year. And there's something that's called a memorandum supplemental tax, where you can get it waived if you make over a certain amount. Yeah. So why does that make sense?
Because the rich keep getting richer.
I mean, that's a nihilistic message, but my bottom line is there's a lot of money to be made.
There is. No, I'm not. Yeah, it could be nihilistic, but the thing is right now, and I agree with what you're saying, that the average person, the little man, has an opportunity right now to get rich.
You're absolutely right. And that's something that bugs me. They always say, oh, you're all in this. You're not in this. I might be in a raft, but the raft can get a hole. There's nothing immune on my raft. You're on land. I'm in a raft. And then maybe my brother's not even in a life vest. That guy's drowning, and he refuses to get in the raft with me. So you're right. There's nothing that makes anybody that would be calling in or anybody that you know isn't immune to what will potentially occur.
What about?
You're just in a slightly.
Oh, sorry to cut you off.
No, I'm rambling. You
What
let me
is
know when
your?
I'm talking too
I
much.
love this. Is great information. What do we need to open up a church?
Excuse me?
Do we need to open up a church? Is that a good way to tell the government, fuck your taxes?
Yes, you should 100% be opening churches. If your church is not open right now, you should walk in there and tell them, open up this church.
No.
or
I mean
you
like
will go-
like me, you and me. We make a church and we tell the government we're not paying we're not paying taxes anymore because
I suppose we could. We can do a derivative. Are you a fan of the more, well, it depends. I mean, I'll get into somebody with theology, but yes, making a church, you can get tax exempt on that. There are some loopholes around that, though. I myself, for tax exempt status, have done things that are not church related. Agriculture is a huge one that you should really look into. You can shelter a lot of money in ag. Church just seems a little bit, I don't know. I don't want to die
call
and
it
then
a
have to answer
ministry,
why.
you know. I do Bible
Excuse
studies. So we'll just open up a ministry and
You
tell the
can open up a
government
ministry.
no more tax for Bellagio.
You could do that. You can actually do a charity. Now, it doesn't have to be it could be a religious charity, and then you're not potentially damning yourself with, things like that. But yeah, religious charity would be apt. So, but yeah, if you're very interested, you should check out Strauss-Howe generational theory.
So I'm going to write this down.
Angle.
You've piqued my interest. Strauss-Howe generational theory?
Strauss-Howe generational theory. I'm in your Discord. I'll link it for you in a bit. How about that?
You son of a bitch. Strauss-Howe, the generational theory. I love it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'll let you go.
Awesome call. I love it. Thank you very much for calling.
Thanks.
Love it. Amazing. I like this guy. I like the cut of his jib, and he just happens to be in my Discord. See, I love it. 50133C Bellagio. I think we need to do this in 2021, 2001, that whole circa generational. I'm liking the calls so far. It's been good. It's been a long day. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, I'm on the air.
You're on the air.
Awesome. This is Crusader fan from your Discord, bro.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I want to get your take on something. It's a random thing I ran across. It happened around last year, fall time. There was some kind of attack, I want to say Middle East, on one of the oil fields. It's kind of a small thing. It didn't seem to make a whole lot of news, and it's kind of gone within a day or two. But it seemed to kind of start this whole catastrophic, all the things we're seeing now.
I think you cut out, Crusader San. No! Got disconnected. The microphone cut out and then the phone cut out. I will make sure we streamline you back in. If we have to even open up a Discord call, we'll get you back in for this. That might be the best too. We could just do it on the side, a Discord call. Because now we have another caller calling in. Crusader. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hello, Bellagio.
Hello.
Can you guess who this is?
No, I cannot. Who is this?
Janaea Tessier.
Hello. Welcome. Thank you for calling in. I haven't seen you in chat in a while.
Huh?
I have not seen you in chat.
It's hard to catch you.
Ah.
You know what I mean? You were always on YouTube. And I'm not as computer savvy, or I'd be doing a podcast. Seeing as I lived in Hollywood 20 years and all. But the show tonight, I just came into it. And are you discussing religious or, because I just
and
came in.
all topics are on the table. We're just taking calls.
Cool. What was on my mind tonight? I had a really profound thought tonight, and I wanted to share it. But excuse me, I had a little herb, and I forgot. So I'm sorry, but
That's okay.
no. But I heard a thing. This is what I wanted to say. They took a poll today. I don't know if you heard this. I don't watch mainstream. But anyway, they took a poll. 90% of Americans hate Christmas.
Hate it.
Did you see that poll? Hate. I just heard it.
I did not see that poll. I would love to know where they took that poll. I bet it was
I don't know. It
New
was
York
on,
City or Los Angeles or.
Well, I think it was national because it was on a sports radio show that was national. And the DJ said, or, the commentator said, this is most unusual. This poll came out today. And he didn't name the poll. I'd have to research it. But just off the cuff, I thought that was really, because, they're taking the poll in a time of, sickness, a time of satanic rule on the earth right now.
Honestly, it makes sense because they want to shut down Christmas everywhere. They want the word Christmas. They hate everything about Christmas.
Why don't we? Yeah, Bellagio. Why don't we shut down the commercial part of Christmas and keep everything else open, like singing in the churches? Because I'm a singer, and I can't sing. I was a cantor in my church. And I can't sing now.
Because the government shut it down, right?
Correct. And I'm in Indianapolis. And I mean, this is a red state. Red. But I live in Indianapolis, so, that's it's like an island of blue.
Yeah.
I myself am a libertarian. After being a progressive for 35 years, a militant progressive in Hollywood, walk away, people. That's my message. They sold us up the river with everything, the 60s. I lived up in Laurel Canyon. I know what went on. They sold us out.
They did.
They did. You know it, Bellagio.
I do. I worked in Hollywood for 10 years. I
know. I worked there 20 years. I lived on top of Lookout Mountain. I knew Donald and Tina Campbell. I knew that was all Aleister Crowley's godson. I was 21 when I went to Hollywood. The first person I meet, I'm in taking a screen test, haven't even lived there 6 months, was homeless.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a place to stay.
I mean,
in the first
I definitely learned a lot there, and I don't regret.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you learned a lot too, but they just chew you up and spit you out, right? This whole industry.
Oh my God.
Plus, but on top of that, the government's the same way, though.
But you know what it is? Yes. I mean, it's the way of the sick world we live in right now. We live in a mentally sick world. The number one health problem right now is not so much physical, that I feel is plaguing humanity all over the earth right now, is mental sickness.
Yeah. Demon possession.
That is the root. I mean, I know those perverts. He was a magus. He had a coven up there. I was on top of Lookout Mountain. I could see all of Los Angeles. Me and Paul Getty would get, rage up there. I mean, I really got in quick. I'm writing my book, but, and
nice.
stuff.
Keep writing it, definitely. Definitely keep
Right.
writing it.
And I liked your podcast because I was just searching, I was just kind of searching, and, I wanted to watch some kind of the offbeat people. Because,
Yeah,
you know
now
what
it's
I
hard
mean?
to find alternative platforms and channels and people.
Right. I mean, you got that other cool thing going, but I'm not that savvy yet. I mean, I'm older, and I'm much more of artistic. I'm not as technical, but I think it's neat. You also have that channel where you do your games.
Yeah, but that's the only
I
thing.
mean,
If we get deleted again, that's the only thing that'll remain, so people can find me.
how can we allow this censorship to happen?
But we're
We
too
must
conditioned.
stand up, Bellagio.
I agree. I agree.
I'm
I
a
think 2021 is the
constitutionalist.
year that people start standing up. We're going to see it in communities with the lockdowns, and when we're starting to see
Yeah,
it, people ripping up fines on TV and reopening up their restaurants and gyms.
we must. Like you were saying, I mean, we need to get you to all these sins of usury and stuff like this. This has to end. We must stand up, and the young must stand up with us
True.
and not be against the wisdom that has come before you.
It's true. We all need
You
to
know
work
what I mean?
together.
Right.
Yeah.
But why not? What about this idea, Bellagio? None of us just decide we're not going to pay taxes. We're not.
I
What
would,
if
I would
everybody
like that.
Yeah. What would they do to 300 million people?
Nothing.
Exactly.
That's the same one we have. I got one of our mods always says that about gun confiscation, that they'll never actually
Ever.
take all the guns because there's too many. It's just not possible.
They can't. Absolutely. My mom always used to say that. My mom was real anti-gun, but she was a Pentecostal Republican. But anyway, she used to say, they'll never take the guns. There's way too many guns. I can't get those guns.
Yeah.
You're right. But I'm tired of watching our Constitution crumble, and now it's seeming to crumble fast. I cannot believe the censorship on YouTube and all of that. That's unbelievable.
I agree totally, and we're gonna see what happens on January and what the outcome is of the election, because that's really gonna show us how fast is the acceleration going towards the destruction of the republic. Hopefully,
I know it.
Hopefully, Trump keeps digs his heel into the ground and doesn't leave.
It's all we have right now.
True. Well,
I mean, literally, other than us masses just deciding to assume one consciousness, and it has to be a warrior. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, I put all my faith in Jesus, and I know that he's going to come back as a warrior the second time. So, as a lion.
Oh yeah, he already is.
Oh yeah, that's going to be great. That'll be great to see how the media spins that or tries to.
Well, yeah, let them spin that. But what what's needed right now is Jesus's action of going into the temple and getting the fucking money changers out.
Yeah, I agree.
They're back in the temple. Get them out.
I agree. Very, very much so.
Because that's where it's corrupted.
True.
That green-eyed monster greed, that friggin' demon.
It's true. Do you have a final message for the world before we get to another caller?
Sorry.
No, I love that. We love this. This is a great call.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry I took up your time too much.
This is great.
But anyway, I will be following you, and I'll call again. And just all of you out there, young and old. I'm 65, but I know millennials. I'm very active. I know all kinds of, and believe millennials. So listen to the wisdom that's for you, that is here to help you, that suffered. Listen, you'll know the truth.
I agree. That's great
I agree.
advice. Listen to the wisdom of our elders. That's what the Bible
Right.
says, you know.
That's the whole game. I have 90-year-old friends. I ask them things. You know, the alert ones, the ones that haven't been injured over time.
You'll learn the best
but,
stuff
you
from.
know, I'm sorry?
You'll learn the best stuff from the older, when my great grandmother
Right.
and grandfather were alive, they have the best information because they've been through it
That's
all.
right. So I'm sick of this division by gender, by this, by that, by this. Get rid of all the friggin' hyphens because we're Americans.
Amen.
I'm sick of gay Americans and African Americans.
It's
and
us.
this.
The only us versus them is it's all of us civilians versus them, the people the powers that be. You know, it shouldn't be us civilians versus other civilians, or you know, because they wear a mask, or because they even look at the church, how divided it is. Like everyone has their own denomination. I'm non-denominational, but I respect everybody. You know, and all the different pieces of the mosaic. You know.
Exactly. Very well put. Very well put. Okay, honey, I'll let you get to some of your other.
Thank you
people.
very much for calling. What a wonderful call. God bless you, and have a Merry Christmas.
Yes. You also have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much. I'm gonna hold. That was a great call. I'm gonna hold the phone line for a minute. We're gonna hop over to my Discord behind the scenes. We're gonna chat with Crusader now. Crusader saying you are live on air. How you doing? Crusader, you there?
Hello?
Crusader, can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you now.
Perfect. Yes.
Is this the hideaway from when the glowies cut off the Ramco top?
Yes, I can hear you much better, clear. Can you lower the radio in the back? And you are live on air.
Oh yeah, I'm live on air. Awesome. Yeah. So what I was bringing up earlier, that I think that had something to do with everything that's going on now. I think is more monetary than anything, and has been from the get-go. There's we're at the end of the road for the current system, so you gotta have a distraction to keep everybody focused on. Hey, no, it's not the banks. Don't worry about those. No, we got all that stuff covered. It's a pandemic, or it's this or that, or anything to distract, including lockdowns and all the rest of the stuff. In my humble opinion.
I like it, but we like your humble opinion here at CHN. So you think that obviously a big distraction as they shuffle the clamshells behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly. If you keep everybody focused on, like a magician does, keep everybody focused on what's going on over here, when what's really going on behind the scenes can be finished, taken care of, and then poof, hey, look, everything's magical and it works, and we have our great new monetary system.
What do you think this new monetary system is going to be?
Well, it kind of depends. I'm still up in the air because I still think we've got our faction wars going on right now, and nothing is decided. If Trump manages to basically just do the Swedish or the Nordic meme of just tell everybody on January 20th, whatever happens, hey, you need to leave, and he just says no, and he stays the president, and I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, but I think we'll have our it'll probably be like a lineup of who's going to be fighting nationalists versus globalists in the next big war. If he loses, then we'll probably be moving over some kind of either way, we'll probably be moving to some kind of blockchain, crypto, some kind of system in some way, shape, or form. But odds are, I mean, you probably make some money off some things, but I'm guessing the actual money that they use will be pretty locked down tight by whatever monetary system is handling. So basically, if the bankers just move over to, okay, we're all going to start using whatever, this is our own proprietary system, and none of the plebs can jump in early because we're not rolling it out until we've already got all of it, just like with the current system.
Yeah, and I believe that from our research and the white papers and what we know their desire is, the Georgia Guidestones, the New World Order, the UN, NATO, the European Union, Davos, these organizations symbolize the New World Order. They want to roll out a one world unified currency. And that could be where this is all leading to.
They're definitely going to try. I mean, all the pieces are falling into place quickly, and this year should show everybody that they've got a lot of power. I mean, this idea that everybody, oh well, everybody just fight back and it'll be fine, and we'll say no, and that sounds really nice, but on a worldwide scale, I don't know. With the new technology and the level of psyops that are out there right now, it's a totally new game. It's crazy. We've got like our cyberpunk dystopia, but it's kind of like a really cheesy, low-tech cyberpunk dystopia. Like, there's no robo waifus, anime's not real. We're just kind of stuck with all the annoying parts of the cyberpunk dystopia without all the cool parts. It's like, I feel a little
it's way more
cyber. They need to step it up.
No, but it's honestly though, if you look at without even getting into conspiracy rabbit holes and the real technology, just stuff that we know of, it's like we are way deep down this rabbit hole of cyberpunk. We have billionaires killing themselves and donating their brains to Google AI programs to upload themselves to consciousness. We have quantum computer technology that like operates off the souls of the victims of abortions. We have some sick shit out there.
Man. It's insane. But again, okay, you get all the evil parts, but where's like my Blade Runner style girlfriend and
or my
they
flying
gave us none of
car
the cool parts, or at least a flying car. I mean, that's not even difficult. I mean, you can't throw us a flying car as a bode. You're ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. They're rude is what they are.
What do you think about this $600 stimulus?
That was pretty funny. I have to admit, that's kind of just like one of those slap in the face type of deals, I think, more than anything. The $700 million to I think Sudan in the mix as well, and like,
oh yeah, I didn't even hear
like
about that.
5,000. Yeah, I was just reading about this a little bit earlier. Apparently, there's like $700 million that's going to
in the
the
stimulus.
bill's like 5,000 plus pages long. Yeah, the stimulus. Right. I mean, at a certain point, I used to get kind of irritated with it, but at a certain point, you just gotta laugh. Say, wow. I mean, can you get any more brazen? This is like, it'd make Nero blush.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about a poster boy or even an administration and a team, but where it's all going, like the pendulum is swinging towards a direction, you know? It's definitely towards the direction of mass census taking and tracking of everybody and knowing everyone's opinion at all times and keeping everyone based on government funding and waiting for the welfare handouts.
Yeah, they're training everybody right now for the UBI whenever they roll that out after taking everybody's jobs. I mean, we haven't even felt that's going to be the biggest part I think people aren't thinking about is we haven't like really felt all the job losses and business losses quite yet, and I don't think we will until like next year. And that's when
if in your local community though, you could see it with restaurants and like Walmart's open, but your local restaurants are closed, you know.
Well, not just, I mean, I lost a 10-year career once all this stuff started from everything locking down, and it wasn't a restaurant. There's so many industries that have been, like restaurants are one, but what about hospitality industries? What about the industries connected to those hospitality industries that support things, or folks who work at the local sports stadiums doing whatever? I mean, it's hit so many, but
So many people. It's so true.
employment's still going. For a lot of people,
Well,
it's
Walmart's
still
open.
going. Well, of course, Walmarts are always open. I mean, that's not American if
We
it's
can
not
all
open,
go to
right?
Walmart and sneeze on each other and fall out of the what is it called? The motorized vehicle thing, the motorized car. We
Oh
can
yeah, the
fall
little,
over,
little
but
carts.
we can't go to our local restaurant and eat with our family around Christmas time. It's pretty psychotic that we as people are allowing the government to do this. And I don't mean like some grand BLM riot. I mean just like peacefully gathering and protesting and saying no. All the people that
Yeah.
drive buses, they go on strike. Like all the city workers go on strike. Everyone goes on strike until they reopen the small family businesses again, right or wrong. That would be awesome.
It would, but I think the biggest hurdle with that is they're throwing so many curveballs. Because you remember right before all the riots and stuff started, there were a ton of anti-lockdown protests going on, like all over the place. I think there was one state where they actually like walked into the Capitol armed and like full on, and then like within a day or two of that really heating up, boom, you had the event go on that started all the chaos over the summer.
Yeah.
So
That
I
was
mean,
a color revolution.
they're
We've
good.
seen it everywhere. Egypt, Syria. It's the same style, George Soros style color revolution, right? That happened over the summer.
We've seen it plenty of times, though. I mean, if you read enough and you follow stuff for even just a little while, you can kind of start seeing the patterns pretty easy. It's like, oh, okay. But when you're talking about hundreds of millions of people in a whole country and all that, it's kind of a daunting task to like counter it.
Yeah. That's why we need God
But
more than
ultimately,
ever.
we'll be able to. That's the thing. As long as you got faith in Jesus, you're going to be fine. Just
Amen.
stay faithful and just roll with the punches and laugh at the absurdity. Because I
Yeah.
found laughter and making fun of stuff seems to red pill a lot more people than like going into statistics and
Or
being all
black-pilling
logical
people,
and-
right?
No. Yeah, never do the black pilling on people. You just gotta laugh. You make jokes of it. Make like the who's that Klaus Schwab guy who was the
Yeah. Klaus Schwab.
some of the memes that were coming out about him. Those were the best counter you could have to somebody like that.
I agree.
Some of the when he was the dressing in his robes and looking like a Sith Lord or some shit.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You start spreading those around, and you're gonna do a lot more damage with that than anything else.
People, yeah, like that's actually how he dressed for that meeting.
I
he
know,
gave, right? Like it's kind of scary to think about. Like it's in our face, the level of occultism and weird secret societies, and I mean, if he was wearing a white robe with a pointy hat, then people might take notice. But because he's wearing some space age cult thing, people, the average person is like, oh, don't worry about it.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah. Oh, he's European. They dress kind of funny. It's no big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Give
It's-
us a final
it's
thought.
wild times.
Give us a final thought, and then I'm going to get back to
Oh.
the calls and let some more people call in.
Final thought would just be everybody just keep on keeping on. Keep your faith in Jesus and don't be demoralized no matter what happens. Morale is the most powerful thing you can have. So stay non-demoralized and make it happen.
Amen. I love that. That's a base message. Well, Crusader Sand, thank
Right
you
on.
very
Thanks,
much.
Claudio.
Thank you for supporting the channel. You are amazing. And Merry Christmas to
Hey,
you.
anytime. Merry Christmas.
God
Thanks, man.
bless. That was an amazing, amazing call. Let's open up the phone lines back up. Hopefully, you guys are timing it. Question everything. Hopefully, you get through. You just time it right. I think you'll make it. Let's get back over to the live chat. The Munkers is causing a ruckus in my chat. The Monkers, you know what happens when people try to take the spotlight in my chat. We're going to have to time you out soon. That's your warning. That's your warning. So somebody call in. Hello, caller. You are on the air.
Hey.
How's it
This is,
going?
it's going all right. I've been real busy on J-Date, and I figured you can't beat them, join them.
Is this Mr. Question Everything?
Yeah, yes, it is. How's it going, Bellagio?
Very good. How are you doing? Did you lose your channel?
No.
Oh, good.
I was just chilling. I uploaded a couple things, and I'm trying to do the jive talk word substitution. It's not about the views. It's more about if you have something to say or an important message, now's the time to get it out.
I agree. But now's the time that they're making it harder to get that message out, you know?
Absolutely. And so I had a couple things that I've been thinking about, and it's like for all appearances, let's just say that I know I'm trying to think in left and right terms, but let's just say in appearance wise, the facade is that the left won, and there's no reconciliation possible between the two sides.
That the left
But
won, you said? Was that what you?
yeah,
Gotcha.
I would say that, and I don't mean it in like a defeatist kind of term. I've actually been feeling a lot better about it, but you kind of have to know your surroundings, and that's where we're at.
But is
We have
this the
people.
loudspeaker? Like, is it like just announcing that the left won, like the Comedy Central Normiescape, or you think that that's
Yes.
the word on the non-street is that the left won?
Oh, it's definitely superficial. It's the teachers running the school, and it's up to, teachers never ran the school. They had the appearance that they ran the school, and I think that's the position that we find ourselves in, is that we are the masses, and we have been sent to detention, I guess.
Yeah, a good way to put a look at it.
You've had some great callers, and I tend to get like fired up over the crypto thing, and I apologize if I'm ever hostile about it. I
Are you pro
I
crypto or anti crypto?
I am pro crypto. I
Gotcha.
am very much pro crypto, because I again, I don't want to paint the bad picture or anything, and I have faith. I just want the best possible outcome for our people and people who think like us. I envision small communities and institutions with hard drives that are all encrypted, and like actual schools that teach things in our community. That's what I
Wouldn't that be
envision.
great?
And
Well, I don't know
and
how
that
old you
stuff
are,
costs
but
money.
I'm in my early to mid 30s, and
That's
when
where
I
I'm
went when
at.
I went to school, they didn't teach us anything of importance that I use today. But nowadays, where I live now, the schools are really good. I'm kind of like shocked when I hear what kids are learning now, and it's like it's a weird imbalance because kids nowadays, whoever's underneath the Zoomers, they are more inundated with information
Alpha.
and yeah, and
Yep.
just negative information and TikTok and distractions. And to fight that, they're being offered amazing stuff to learn. But I don't know if some of them are taking advantage of it. I'm not in that scene. I just hear like, oh wow, my kid's learning this, or they offer this now.
It
And like STEM is like very popular now at like schools. Like back when I went to school, they never even knew about STEM, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess it was there for if you wanted to pursue it, but you had to take that initiative. Um, right now, it's sort of a scary landscape, and I have a lot of sympathy and prayers for the youth because they're being inundated and cultivated at a young age and swept into accepting a culture which is it always has been the norm to be more liberal, but it's been extreme, and you've seen it, and I've been laughing a lot lately, and your last caller stressed the importance of humor, and you absolutely have to find. Oh, a ladybug just flew on the wall. See, um,
Good
you
omen.
absolutely, and I want the best for everyone, really, and I want I want people to be able to not only make it, but also be an abundance of fruit, so that we're able to multiply. If you see right now, and a couple of your callers touched on this, if you see right now from the rip, it has been about financial control. And when you see where the money and the wealth is going, the government is in the mortgage business now. Um, these social issues and quote unquote public health issues really are a distraction for the largest wealth transfer in probably history. I don't
In
know,
what?
maybe
In the mortgage industry?
everywhere.
Oh, okay. The
Global
same thing. The
economy.
same thing the other caller was talking about. This is a great shifting of wealth.
Yes, yes.
Gotcha.
This is the house is on fire. I'll get the silverware, you get the grandfather clock. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it
And now we all have to find out how we can, make the money from this. I don't want to say it's not really the fall of Rome, it's a restructuring of Rome.
yes. Yes. And we do have we have the truth on our side, and I'm gonna bet that we have God on our side, and I pray that we do every morning, that I'm on the right path. Um,
Well,
we
if
also
you
have the
believe in Jesus,
mystique.
you're on the right
Uh,
path.
oh, absolutely. But path in life, and that I'm spending my energies correctly, and yeah, I just yeah, I doubt myself,
Yeah,
but
so we all have doubts.
I just we have a lot a lot going for us as a community, as a nuns, as truth seekers, as as followers of Christ. We have a lot going for us, and yeah, it's going to be a restructuring, and we need to stick together, uh, accumulate the resources that we can, survive the restructuring, and yeah, hopefully it's not too terrible of a cyberpunk
Existence.
dystopia. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna get crazy. I know your main concern is AI, and I like that's your touchstone, and that is really you will touch on that, and you're absolutely right. It's a scary proposition. We're moving into these uh, behind your Jack Dorsey and your Mark Zuckerberg, behind those closed doors and in those laboratories, they're creating these impossibly complex systems with uh, the old the old joke sticker at Spencer's with this, instead of Intel inside, it has the 666 like Satan
Yeah.
inside. Like that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing in there, and we already know the conclusion of that story. We already know who triumphs from evil.
Yeah, I'm concerned about, I'm not really fearful of anything. I'm definitely concerned about AI because that is going to give the science minions and Satan's um, physical army a lot more capability in terms of ever since the beginning of time, from Babylon to Rome to ancient Greece, government has been fascinated with counting the people and the census, you know. So the AI is going to be a huge part of keeping track of everything.
That'll be our hall monitor, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be very, very hard to evade, if at all. But there's other technologies, and like I as far as crypto goes, if people had the ability to throw some money on a shit coin or two and forget about it, like what's the worst that could happen?
Well, we're all getting
y-
$600 soon. So what coin?
exactly.
If you don't want to, you don't have to. But what are you saying? Any coin is good to invest in, or
Small honestly,
you like small coin?
like I would go, if say I was an investor, I had that $600, I would use that for whatever pressing need that I had in my life, and then separate maybe $100 or $200, and I would go on to Coinbase and or you know, sign up for a Coinbase, and I would invest in something under $1 and buy a few hundred. The graph recently the quadrupled in price from the Coinbase listing. There's a little bit of money to be made, and really just getting your feet wet. I I do I get fearful that the rug is going to be pulled out from under you,
Yeah, right.
and
That's why I don't want to.
it
I can't invest too much, but maybe a little of the stimulus, perfect time to get in on something. I like the
Ethereum
cyber. I
Classic.
like the anon that was talking about cyber security stocks. Real quickly, a lot, and
Yes.
you might be able to attest to this. But a lot of people who are like super pro Bitcoin are very anti stock market. But I just see it as another game to play to make money, and I'm definitely going to look into cyber security stocks in the next couple of
Oh,
days.
that is, that's strange. I mean, there's definitely potentially less growth potential in the stock market if you invest in
I don't know.
penny
I've
stocks,
been seeing
though.
some crazy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I mean like real stocks. I've
Hello.
been seeing some
There,
crazy gains in the
oh
last.
yeah.
Like we all been
There's
people been talking about it. You know.
yes. Penny stocks can boom. Penny stocks can boom, and yeah, I'm not anti-stock market at all. I don't see the growth potential that
Gotcha. Crypto's more
in
rapid
other
fire growth, right?
exactly. I see less restriction as far as trading weeks, and it's like 24-hour continuous. But there's no securities. There's no assurances. If you lose it, you lose it.
Give us whatever you want to talk about. You have 5 minutes on the floor, and I want to get to some other callers. Tell us anything you want to discuss, or tell the people this Christmas season, or what's on your radar. What are you working on?
Um,
You got the floor.
the word the put me on the spot, Bellagio. So what I would recommend, and I always love this time of year, and whatever your beliefs are in regards to the pandemic, is to be safe and take precaution, and take this time to reflect on yourselves,
Hmm.
and to be true to yourself. And there's really no need to risk and stick your neck out. Right now is a great time to silently prepare and to be the wallflower and sort of see which way the wind blows.
In terms of investing or in terms of the political spectrum?
Politics and just in general, because this would have been the time. But you're the fresh fish on the block, so
Oh
it's
yeah,
time
yeah.
to fall back and keep your eyes wide open and see what's going on, and no need to really speak up or give up that seat in the lunchroom if need be.
Oh
So
wow.
I don't I don't really have a whole lot to say. I miss this community. YouTube landscape is terrible.
Oh, it's
What
been devastated.
there's nothing anymore.
Yeah,
I
I don't
sit
know.
here
Like, I honestly,
in shock.
there is no future for truther commentators on YouTube.
None, and that's what I'm hopeful for, because innovation is around the corner, as long as they don't randomly the police don't randomly shoot at them in Maryland, like they did with the guy who was making. Are you familiar with that story?
No, tell us.
There was a guy in Maryland, and I believe he was making an encrypted peer-to-peer. It might have even been shortwave or shortwave compatible. It was supposed to be uncensorable, and he was
Oh,
asleep in his bed with his girlfriend, and the police just rolled up and shot into the house and killed him. It was insane. There were threads on it at the time.
that got memory hold for me, definitely. Wow. Yeah,
Yep.
I heard about that at the time. Definitely, I bet those cops were Masons.
Oh yeah, they're nobody's friends,
Yeah.
and we can sit down and we can talk about reform. Absolutely talk about reform.
But it's
But
not because someone
not
can't
a
breathe.
deracial. Yeah, not exactly. You can't you can't racialize it.
No, it's because we got cops making people play Twister in hotel hallways before they get shot and killed,
Exactly.
and yeah,
Exactly.
all sorts of flash banging grandmothers in New York City, right? But no,
There,
no. But
yeah,
we have
there's
to
a
cry
problem.
because someone can't breathe. And now we care, you know?
Ex,
Boo-hoo.
ex, e- exactly. And I think your other caller was talking about division, and that's the name of the game. And they're atomizing us. They're breaking us all into individual pieces. They're setting family members against family
Oh,
members.
brother
They're
against brother. Even within the truth community, it's like if you want to keep your job and keep food on the table for your family and you wear a mask at work, oh, you're the enemy of mankind. You're giving into the, well, how about we just have a little bit more unity, you know?
that I haven't heard a call for unity in, I can't tell you when. That's
Yeah.
not the message here. And that's part of the restructuring. That's the great distraction. And you had some great callers today. And it's a shame. And I got riled up with it too. And you scream and you get upset at what's in front of you, because it's designed to make you upset.
Yeah.
You're being targeted, and it something's going to push your buttons, and it, it's the great distraction. And before you know it, and everyone, it doesn't matter if you're supported by the establishment right now, there will be the boot will come down, the walls will come crashing down, and we'll all be together in front of something that we don't recognize.
Very interesting. I like that. I don't like, what I'm saying, I like your take on it. Put it that way.
but I'm faithful, and I go to church, and I participate in church. I believe in communities, and I want to
Yeah.
support my community and your community. I went through my black pill phase, and now I'm like a maroon, maroon pilled.
Good. It was better than completely being off the depression, you know. So, but that's good, man. I'm happy to hear that you're doing okay. My last Bible study, I gave everyone homework to find good local church. You know, I think that's important.
That's excellent. Yeah, and the squabbling, I think that's the OG sort of argument and division, which church that you went to, and these are things that are not important. It's
Go to one
up.
that's open and that's fighting the government right now. I don't care where. I don't care where. As long as it's Jesus, and I don't care if you're Lutheran, Baptist, Catholic. As long as your church is open and they are telling the health community and the health inspector to screw themselves, you know.
It's in the Bible. You're meant to worship together. You're
Yep.
meant to worship together, and not that you can't on your own, but we are meant to all worship together, and this is the great test. This is the great test to see how far you'll go. And
Amen.
I thank you,
And
Bellagio,
that's the true
pray.
test, not how much you can not wear a mask at Walmart or how much you can protest the government. It's how much you're going to stick up for God when the time comes and the government says you can't assemble, you can't have church, you know. Walmart's fine, but your church is closed. Casinos are fine. That's when we have to really, that's the real test, you know.
Oh, it's utter insanity. No Christmas, no Thanksgiving, but feel free to go to the grocery store every day and go. Every store is open around me.
I can
I'm in
go.
a kind of red area, but every store is open.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, listen, I'm going to get to the last caller of the show. I really always love when
Thank
you
you.
call in. That was awesome. Good timing.
Thank you, Bellagio.
We got
Thank
to
you.
do a show soon. Let me know.
Absolutely. I'm down. I'm down.
All right.
I'll let you know my schedule, and I would love to. And thank you for taking my call.
All right. Peace out.
All right.
God bless.
Bye.
Great call. Always a great call. Yeah, I mean, I was just giggling to myself. I can go to Walmart and shit my pants on aisle 7 and fall over in the mobile scooter, right? Fall into the aisles, piss myself on aisle 6. Call cleanup on aisle 7. That's fine. But God forbid you go sing at church. God forbid you assemble and go sing at church. That's bad. But I could go to Walmart all day, right? With piss-stained pants, flip-flops on, ass crack hanging out, looking like a Walmart person. But oh no, don't sing at church, please, for the love of God. That was an amazing last call. It's been amazing call after call this entire show. We're doing one more final call. Then I have to go cook dinner. Here's the final call. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Bellagio.
Hello.
What's up? Great
How you
show
doing?
so far. I wanted
Thank
to jump on the other callers talking about the monetary possibilities of the future.
Yes.
So I'm like 50-50 on crypto.
Okay.
I got into it in 2013, and then I spent all my Bitcoins. And then I got back into it like over the summer this past year.
Has it been good so far? Getting back into it, or?
Well, I have mixed feelings about it. I've seen a lot of change. The whole idea of it powering AI is definitely a possibility.
That's my theory.
And because if you think about it, everything is going to be recorded onto this enormous worldwide database. And the more complicated systems that are being built on top of it, like Chainlink, it's going to manage the global supply chain. So now we're talking about commodities, we're talking about farm products, traffic, just everything that happens around the world is going to be analyzed by these giant AI systems.
Very
So,
true.
in a way, it is
government
kind of like-
systems, military, everything's going to be analyzed.
Yeah, and in a way, it's kind of like the Skynet scenario,
Absolutely.
some ways. But however, I do see some, silver linings still. There are a couple blockchains out there that are actually worth participating in. I like Monero. That's a privacy coin.
I've heard of that.
So you can't get your it's more anonymous basically. But anyway, the bigger picture is this something called central bank digital currencies. That's where each central bank is going to issue their own blockchain, and then essentially have their own national currency.
And that's bad, right?
I mean,
sounds bad to me.
It's what's coming. That's what's definitely coming, and that's where I'm pretty much certain that this is heading towards the cashless central bank blockchains, and they'll all be integrated, and that'll essentially, there'll be different flavors. Europeans will have their flavor, and Asians will have their flavor, and Americans will have ours, but they'll all be integratable, through the code and everything like that. Everything will be able to merge together so that the AI systems can analyze across the different networks.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, there's going to be governments run by AI. I put out I think all my AI videos, and the one I couldn't, I put on BitChute because of the music. So definitely people need to check those out and they're old, but the information is still spot on.
Yeah, and so where that will go is there's another important concept called about negative interest rates, and that's been talked about a lot. And so the whole point of negative interest rates is because
Tell me about this, because
yeah, sure.
I just can't even understand how. Like me, I own a house and a mortgage. If I had a negative interest rate, what the bank is paying me to have a mortgage? How does this work? Is it a scam?
It's mind-boggling, but it's where we're headed. Like, just as I'm certain these central bank digital currencies are coming, it's all going to be hand in glove with the negative interest rates. They need to come together in order for it to work.
So is this a bad thing? Is this going to help the common man? Is it going to drive us farther into central banking? This whole negative interest thing? It sounds too good to be true. It sounds like a couple merchants are going to lose a couple hats over it. Negative interest.
Let's think about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the ultimate deflationary so-called currency.
Yeah.
So when I got my Bitcoins in 2013, I got a handful of Bitcoins in round numbers, not just like decimal points, anything like that. They were solid numbers. And at the time, I didn't know that Bitcoin was a deflationary so-called currency, which means that it would be worth a tremendous amount more in the future. And so there's deflation and inflation, whereas paper cash typically we think of as inflationary, so that in a year from now or 5 years from now, it'll be worth less. So it encourages us to spend it and get rid of it, because $100 today is going to be worth like $85 in 5 years.
Yeah.
So that part. So with deflation, this is what happens with negative interest rates. It causes deflation. So it's the opposite. So that $100 today will be worth $120 in 5 years from now.
So is it a good thing?
Well, it's very complicated, and I think overall the system in total is bad.
Well, let me just say this. I mean, from a layman's perspective, like my own, if the system that's been screwing us for years, for 50, 100, 1,000 years, if they have been charging us interest and usury for all this time, and everything's been screwed up, I don't see how negative interest can screw it up any further. I say bring it on. Pay me to have a mortgage. I love it. Sounds good to me.
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the catch.
Here we go.
here's the catch, and we're building to it because you got to have all these parts, or else the system won't work. You think they're just going to let you have a deflationary currency where you can put your $1,000 in a shoebox in the backyard, and next year it'll be worth $2,000? You think they're just going to let that happen?
Some people don't want that.
No.
I think the Plus Ultra faction, they want this, but the other faction does not.
Well, I want to. I'll come back to that because I think it's important here that we talk about cashless societies, because you have to get rid of the cash when you have negative interest rates. Otherwise, people will treat it like Bitcoin. They'll just hoard it and they'll never spend it. They'll never go to buy gas with their Bitcoin because their Bitcoin is going to be worth more money next year. So if the US dollar was going to be worth more next year than it is today, nobody would spend it. So they're going to get rid of cash, and it's all going to be digitized. And the banks will all have everybody's money in their vaults, and then the banks will be charged a tax based on the total amount of deposits that they have. So that there won't be any coins. Well, there might be coins, but $100 bills, $50 bills, $20 bills, those are all going away with negative interest rates, because people will just simply hold on to it and not spend it.
Jeez.
So the next economic crisis that happens, the only get out of jail free card that the managers have left is to implement this new system, which is digital currency with negative interest rates. And so it's overall the Agenda 21, 2030, it's all that same bullshit that we don't like, but so to say if it's good or bad, it's more complicated. It's the next system that's coming.
And what can we do to ride the roller coaster? What can we do? The ride never ends.
You got to start a church, man.
That's it. That's the answer, you think?
I'm telling you, we started church, and
then what?
There's more to say about that anyway. But
no, then if you build it, they will come, right? That's the answer.
Yeah, and I just want to go one last point about the positive sides of blockchain and stuff. I have my ear to the ground on it. I'm reading Biz, just as often as I read the other boards, and the highlight is peer-to-peer technology, and
I like that.
And this is going to help us with live streaming and uncensorable live streaming is about a few weeks away because of DLive. DLive they just announced a few days ago that they're going to have this new downloadable program that you put onto your computer, like uTorrent or any other BitTorrent client.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch somebody stream, you go load up your BitTorrent client. It's a DLive client, and then you copy and paste the link, and then bam, you're watching your favorite live streamer, and it's impossible to take down because it's
P2P.
Peer-to-peer, and everybody's sharing it. It's the same peer-to-peer infrastructure that we've always had, but now it's just used for live streaming.
Wow, I love that. I didn't. You just red pilled me. That sounds awesome.
So when it releases like a month or two from now, you should definitely try to use your influence to get on some of those initial.
I don't have any influence.
There's got to be a spearhead somehow.
I don't have any influence, but I'll try. We're gonna.
Well, you got a good audience, man. That's
you guys are the power behind the show, so.
Well, I know, but that's the power of talk radio. It's like the audience and then the host.
I hope DLive will give us a shot. That'd be freaking awesome.
Well, it's anybody can do it. You just download the app and then you can.
I'm gonna look into this. I like it a lot.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Awesome.
That was pretty much everything I wanted to say. Appreciate it.
Amazing call. I love it. That was awesome. Good information.
All right, man. Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. Merry
Take
Christmas
care.
to you too. That is a great last call. Man, a lot of Bitcoin talk. We're going to have to change the name of the episode. Let's talk Economy and Bitcoin. That's good for the algorithms. Then we're going to put some music on. I'm going to read what you guys are talking about. What an amazing group of callers tonight. I don't have a favorite call because each one was my favorite. Every single call was awesome. From first to last, we had various age groups. It's amazing because if I keep the title the way it was, we spoke with Zoomers, Doomers, Boomers, Hopers. We did talk to everybody. I love it. But I changed the name because we did talk a lot about economics. What a great show, guys. These are always fun to do. We will do more of them. They are draining for me because I have to stay engaged on my toes. I'm like really impressed with the last call with the D-Live peer-to-peer thing. That's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. Definitely it's going to be something for the more tech savvy, but not really. I mean, if you could download QBitTorrent, you could download this, it sounds like. But it doesn't sound like it's going to be mobile quite yet, but I'm sure it's going to get there. We are going to put some music on. I got to go do some dinner cooking. Chicken tendies. Unironically, I am making chicken drumsticks. So, not quite tendy form. Very interesting. A red pill was brought upon me, and I was thinking about Terry Davis, and SDN6 said, why are we still giving money to Israel? And I thought about something that Terry Davis, and it blew my mind, that the best way to earn God money, and if somebody has the video, somebody link it. I don't have it. For Terry Davis movie night, we will have it. Terry Davis said the best way to earn God money is to, when the enemy does bad stuff to you, like praying for your enemy, when the government, oh man, he put it so eloquently. But basically, when the government's screwing you over, and you pray for that enemy, you're getting God money, you're earning God money. So with giving money to Israel, how much God money are we earning? Because they are not the best ally. They're actually very, very naughty people in terms of politics and government allies. So I think I'm going to find that Terry Davis clip, and I'm going to play it on the next episode so you guys fully understand where this red pill is going. But I think it's very, very fantastic. Very fantastic. Let's find a good music and a good Terry Davis, somewhat safe for work, to play on the way out.
Programming requires
God
extreme
bless you all.
precision in ideas. And to date, I've been a little bit asleep. Why should I bother to express my words precisely? My mind is slow, kind of like a big leviathan and spinning up, but when it does, it has the power to make extreme precision. A nobleman experiences pain listening to a peasant babble. When a nobleman talks, he's probably not trying to intimidate with brevity, but he is trying to be sensitive to other nobles, and he probably has a superior ability and extreme precision, and probably fudges in consideration of the other noble's time, and has terrifying ability in words known as like a tongue sword. So I've been at a loss to try to understand my donation rate. I confess I've been trying to game it, trying to increase my donations, but I finally got a clue. Maybe see, here's the weird part. Like I'm like lecturing down, and like people are like donating down, and I'm like, whoa, they're like pitying me. And then I kind of I'm in a Catholic community. I tried to explain this to Diana, how this is a Catholic community in the same way you might find a Hasidic community. And what you have here is see, these are Catholics, and they've remained free. If the rest of the nation has gone into slavery, but this freedom is only maintained by following the Catholic approach to money, which is money is precious, and you use recycling. You give to the poor. Catholics. My parents. We used to go to rummage sales, and used to and like I'm like, why are we being so tight with money doing this weird thing? This is how you practice the faith, and I understand it. So I was like explaining to Diana, this is like a Hasidic community of Jews practicing the faith as it's practiced, right? And so like